Hey everybody, this is John with Cargo Hold Collectibles and Prop Shop. I haven't done a video in a while. I kind of backed off on my sales. Things were going slow, trying to get more people into the page and visiting and everything else. And then I'll probably start up some more sales. But currently at the moment, I've been working on a custom Mandalorian, which is going to be named during Bessa. This is the shin, this is the collar. I got the rest of it upstairs. I just brought down a few pieces because I'm going to be doing a video on painting and weathering and how to age things and make it look authentic and realistic. And I've seen some videos. Matter of fact, I sat down last night and I wanted to see what other videos are out there. Who's building what, doing what. I want to see what kind of other methods are out there. And really, the things I saw from most of the sites, the armor was crap, and a lot of the paint jobs were crap. And I hate that these guys are making these videos and even using Merc's names and everything else, you know, the Mandalorian Merc's name and logo as a way to get viewers to watch their videos. I don't know if it's an actual Merc's member. I'm hoping it is if they're using their logo. But the videos and methods they're using, they're making their costumes look like a cartoon. The damage is way too much, way too bright, way, too big of areas. I mean, it's just everywhere. I mean, it's just a big splotches of silver and underlying colors. Doesn't look realistic. I mean, like I said, if you want to look like a cartoon, then go for it. I've been doing Mandalorian costumes since 2001. I've been doing this since the days of Mark Bradley, Golden Armor kind of started out. I'm not going to say my business name of the period of time, but because I was loved by a lot of people, but I was also hated by some people. But I've been doing this for a long time, and my weathering, my costumes, armor, are realistic as possible. I want my stuff to look like it walked right off of a set, off the movie set. These pieces, for example, there's rub marks, there's chip marks, there's dents, there's nicks, there's, areas that look like it's just like it's been beat on. They're dirty, they're not clean. They're weathered, aged. There's rub marks, there's gouges, there's dents, there's, it looks like it's been through battle. Same thing with anything that's been colored. I mean, there's different layers of colors there that's not so extreme that this cut mark or dent, gouge, whatever. There's not this big, huge silver mark and then this big, huge black mark around it. No, it looks realistic and subtle, like that was actually done and worn over several years. Not some of these paint jobs I've seen, wow, and people are posting them online for tutorials, and it's like, wow, that looks like crap, and you're teaching people how to make crap. So I'm going to do some videos on painting and weathering. They're going to be real simple. There's not much entail as far as how to do it. I like making things look authentic and real and old and aged and worn. That's what the Star Wars universe is. It's worn, it's dirty, it's filthy, it's aged. It's not new, it's not shiny, it's not big round, damage marks. No, it's jagged, it's scarred, it's scratches. I will show some people how to properly weather, age, and do their costume. The piece I've got my costume, matter of fact, probably 95% done. I'm working on a cod piece right now. The rest of the armor, helmet, everything's done. This is a cod piece I've got, and it's 6mm Centra, which is what you should be using to make your armor. Don't use 3mm unless that's all you have. I know 501st throws a fit about 3mm, especially PET. because it doesn't have the return edge. The 6mm will give you the look of a return edge on your armor. Use this if at all possible. Sintra is cheap. I get, matter of fact, my costume, this Duran Besa character, his entire armor is from scraps from a sign shop that they gave me. I didn't even have to pay for. So I built an entire Mandalorian armor set, minus gauntlets and knee armor, helmet, from free Sintra. So keep that in mind. Go check around your shops, your local sign shops. And for the first thing I do on this is, once I get everything cut out from the patterns, is I take a Dremel and go around the edges and bevel everything. Give it a rounded edge, not where it's, you don't want a square, jagged edge from where you cut it. You want it to be smooth and somewhat round and beveled. Putting these together, these pieces together, this is PVC. Use PVC glue that you use for your plumbing pipes in your house. It will go together and never come apart. It's not going to be the same as using E6000 or something like that. It's a good glue, but it will come apart. PVC plumbing glue will not come apart. You'll break the piece before you get it apart. Take the parts, bevel them, glue them together, heat them, shape them, and take sandpaper. And I start out with 400 grit sandpaper. And I go around all the places I bevel, smooth them out, get up along inside the cracks, and get everything sanded and smooth, and then sand the entire surface. Start with 400 grit. I'll stop, depending on how shiny I want the armor or smooth, stopping at 800 grit. It's not necessary. Probably 600 is probably fine. This piece here is going to get 400 grit. I want it to look old and aged, and just as long as there's no grind marks, scratch marks or anything like that. The paint well filled in. I don't prime Sintra. I clean it, I wash it. I take Dawn dishwashing soap, wash it, make sure it's grease free. There's no hand grease or whatever on it. And take it out and hit it with silver paint. And I use Krylon or Rust-Oleum. And use either one or the other and stick with that brand throughout your painting process. You can, after things have set and cured and mixed, you can mix colors or mix brands. But if it's still somewhat damp, don't use Krylon and then throw some Rust-Oleum over the top of it before it's totally cured. You might have an issue there. But yeah, silver paint, then go over it with the original color after it's had a little bit of time to dry. And for masking, all I do is use liquid latex you buy at Walmart during Halloween season. I've got bottles around here that are 3 years old I still use. Buy that when it's in season. It's $9 a bottle. Hell, it'll last you years. Basically what I'll do is, once I get everything beveled, sanded, get the silver coat on it, I take the matter of fact, I'll show you here shortly. I'll do a separate video, or not a separate video, but a separate take. But I'll tell you what, that's as far as we're going to go right now with this, but I will continue once I get the silver paint on this, which I'm going to take outside and do. But the whole reason I'm doing my my video indoors is because the weather turned to crap outside. So I will take this out, and it's still blowing like crazy. Take this out, put the silver coat and paint on it, bring it back in, and then I will show you how to do masking. I'm going to actually do this. It's still going to be black as the final coat, but I'm going to actually do some like an olive green underneath as a second layer of paint. It's one thing about Mandalorians is during battle, armor gets damaged, armor gets lost. They end up with other pieces from other kits. That's just the way it is. So that's why Boba Fett has mismatched parts and pieces. most of the Mandalorians in the costumes and stuff will do the same thing. Is they'll mix and match. They might have a set where it's just black and silver, and then they have a set with different color in between. So we are going to do the cod just a little bit different with some olive green and then a final coat of black. And I will show you how to do a multi-layer effect to where it looks realistic and doesn't look like crap. So stick around, I'm going to go paint this after I wash it, and I'll show you how to mask.